To teach. I'm not an ART instructor, okay? What I'm going to do is show you what I do as far as ART goes. I'll show you how I contact the muscle, what my positioning is, and then it's common knowledge how you lengthen a muscle, okay? So basically the gist is shorten the muscle as much as you can and then take it through a lengthening position there, okay? The contact that I use is taught. That's what you pay all the money, that's what you practice. That's what comes with all the seminars and everything. I could never recommend...
And this is Leahy's work,
yes,
right?
Dr. Mike Leahy. Everything that we do in Dr. Michael Leahy is the one who invented the whole thing and gotten it patented and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Mike, you've been volunteering. We're going to do psoas, okay? So, actually, first, let me have you lay face down, okay? We're just going to do a hip extension test real quick.
Pull it up.
Normal hip extension test that we did before. Keep this leg nice and straight. Just lift it off the table. That's positive. Come on down. This side again. Okay, so it doesn't matter which side. Flip over and lay with this side face up. Okay. Psoas. Who can tell me how to shorten the psoas?
Flex.
Okay, so in this position we're going to be working psoas on top. This is where I can reach to. Just lay right over on the hip. So we're going to flex the knee up as far as we can, correct? No matter what you learn in the protocols or whatnot, you're going to pick one hand or the other. I believe through the ART protocols they use the distal hand from where the muscle is running. I use proximal only because I get a better contact that way. Anybody can argue with it, but if you can create tension on the muscle, that's what you're looking for, okay? We're going to go through, now psoas is on lumbar spine all the way down to the femur, correct? So we're going to get in real deep here, just lean right in on him. He's in a shortened state now. What I'm looking for is any kind of scar tissue built up in that psoas, okay? I feel scar tissue, and what I'm going to do is instruct him on how to basically just take his whole leg. Just take this leg, all you're going to do is straighten it right out and bring it right back off the table here. Okay? All I'm going to do is keep a contact on that muscle as he takes it through there. Okay? And what you guys are going to do when you got split up and test this out, you're not going to try to do any type of ART at all. Okay? You're just going to go in through here, palpate the muscle, get an idea of where that muscle is, and then have him go through the muscle and just feel it. Just see what it's doing. Feel the lengthening of it. It'll kind of give you a better idea of where that muscle is and what it's doing during that action. So go ahead, same thing. Can you feel my contact on that muscle as you go through? Okay.
Yeah.
And you never want them to go through a real fast pace or anything like that. It's just real slow, nice and easy. And the patient their body temperature will rise very quickly. So if they're cold when they walk in the office, they won't be cold for very long. That's how we would do psoas, okay? Now in my office, what I do is test out what I'm working on. I'll treat it and then I'll retest afterwards, okay? So what we're going to do is have you lay face down again. We'll do that same hip extension test, see if we can't see any difference in that. The nice thing about doing a test, treat, and then retest afterwards is that they get an idea if anything's changed. And you pretty much, if you can manipulate a muscle, get a change that they can see, you're sold. They'll come back until they're all better. And that, I mean, you can talk to your blue in your face and do all the patient management stuff, but if you can actually make a difference that first day with your hands, what you're doing with them, they're sold. They won't ask any more questions. And if they do ask questions, they're more interested in other kinds of things and not questioning to see if you know what you're doing. Okay. Same thing, keep this leg nice and straight. And this is the leg we didn't work, so go ahead. Still rocking that way. Keep this leg nice and straight, just lift it right up off the table. So his lumbar spine, now you guys can't see it from where you are, but it was more stable when he tried to lift that up. Okay. When he goes the other side, it looked exactly the same on both sides. Okay. You want to split up from now?
Yeah, let's do it.
As far as you can possibly go, do you feel a nice stretch down there at all, or no? You really go that way? A lot of stretch that way, or go the other way? Which side do you feel more on? Left side?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna have a seat behind you, okay? Now, if I was in my office, I wouldn't be sitting behind the patient. I would use an F&D table. Much easier for me to do it that way. I can have full control of the table. Patient lays down, they don't have to do anything. So I move them with the table because it'll go laterally and swivel.
Oh.
But for this, I'm gonna have a seat behind you. Is that okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm gonna have you take this arm, put it right up on the shoulder there, okay? This hand, just like we just did, you're gonna bend, no, you're gonna keep that down on your sides. And the motion we're gonna use, because we wanna basically shorten the QL as far as we can, correct? Lengthen it out all the way up, reach over the top of your head with that arm, okay? Because that's gonna help you get over there, all right? Just like that, okay? And you're on her arm to try to guide her basically through the motions. And my other hand is what's gonna contact on the QL, so I'm going to look basically for whatever adhesions are going on through there, because I don't want to treat unhealthy tissue. I'd rather treat where there's an adhesion. We'll guide her by pushing her over this way, and exactly what we just did, reach all the way over the top of your head and lean all the way the other way. And I'm just keeping my contact on the muscle as we go through. So what I want you guys to do is just get an idea of where QL is and what it feels like as it lengthens. Just put your finger right on it. I'm using a thumb contact. She's just lengthening right out through there. Okay. Stand up, move around a little bit. Make sure you're okay. If you try to bend over to your right hand side, comparatively to your left, does it feel different? Hold on,
Like that?
Have a seat like we did before when we first tested it out.
Okay.
Reach over this way and bend this way. Good. Now come back this way the way we were. Does that feel different from what it did before?
A little bit, yeah.
That's what we're going to try out. Everybody do the same thing, sitting behind their patient, because we don't have any F&D tables. So, you guys are all friends. You're going close. Questions? Extensions, since TFL is a hip flexor, it could be a problem as well. So it's something to look into, something to palpate, make sure that you clear all that out as well. Or at least you look for a problem with TFL. If there's adhesions there and it's short, they won't be able to get that full hip extension, and then you got lumbar spine problems, you got all kinds of problems. Lay on your side facing. So TFL is a hip flexor, so we need to flex the hip in order to shorten that muscle, correct? Does anybody know the origin and insertion of TFL? We're looking off of ASIS down to the iliotibial band, right? IT band. So you're going to look through that muscle. It's a very short muscle comparatively to what we've worked on. Look for any adhesion through there, and then contact that muscle. And what she's going to do is extend her leg all the way back, just like we did with the psoas, but at the same time we're going to adduct the leg on the way down. Okay? You guys did this with PIR stretching. You did that exact motion. We took them through that. Okay? Come on back up. The only difference what you're going to do now is just palpate that muscle and feel that muscle slide as that goes through that motion. Go ahead and lengthen that. You can probably feel that tighten up. You can only go through what the patient can handle. If they can't handle that, modify it a little bit. You can even hold their leg. Somebody that's 45 years old and is just starting to run because all of a sudden they got this kick that they want to become a recreational athlete all of a sudden. These might be very, very tender. They might not be able to get through that motion. It might not take a whole lot of pressure for you to push on that muscle that cause a lot of irritation there, okay? So just push down a little bit. You can use your other hand, guide them through that so they don't have to do any work at all. And do the same exact thing, okay? Go ahead and give it a shot.
Piriformis.
A little bit? Not that much. If everybody bends down like they're going to touch their toes, does anybody feel any tension in their calves? Stretching through their calves?
Yes.
Come on over. Yes. Lay on the table facing this way. You got it. Lay on your side. So we all know as far as nerve tension can be created through any type of adhesion between a nerve and a muscle, okay? It can be created in a bunch of different areas. Down through the calf, it can be created in the hamstring. It can be created right under piriformis. Piriformis entrapment of the sciatic nerve is one of the most common nerve entrapments you'll ever come across, besides any type of nerve entrapment in the hand, which obviously or in the forearm, which creates carpal tunnel, or what everybody thinks is carpal tunnel. Okay. What we're going to do is work piriformis, so find out where it attaches distally and proximally. usually come right off of trochanter here. The motion